Can't remember which one it is. Let's see. Edit settings. It's 4. It's 4. Yeah, got it. It's 4. I should have done that. Damn it. Oh well. Okay, it's on YouTube now. Great. Right. So, if you got some articles, this is we can
I've got two.
do yours. Do yours first. I've got a couple.
Well, first I wanted to like say, did you watch The Tiger King?
I did. I
Did
watched
you
it a couple of
comment
weeks
on
ago
things?
or last
Yeah.
week. I think, I think he was right. I think he did. She, she definitely did do something.
Mhm.
I,
Right. It's super super like suspicious, and like everything she says in the documentary
yeah,
is
and
like
she just avoids
makes me
it.
more suspicious
And
of
then
her.
she's like, the only way that comment that you put on your on the Twitter, the only way you could get a cat to eat a human would be covering it in
Sardine oil.
sardine oils.
Yeah, I
And
gotta
I'm
hear
just
how
like,
she.
wait, like, is that how you done it?
Yeah, I know. Like yo, you would know, Carol. You would
Yeah.
know.
Or either that, or she just put them in the Mensa.
Yep. There's a lot of like, it's pretty suspicious, and like
It's
she's
so it's so weird.
she does a lot of the same things that Joe does.
I
Like the only
know.
thing that her and Joe do differently is he breeds them,
Mhm.
and she doesn't breed them. But I thought it was funny because he was like, they were complaining that he doesn't pay his employees very well or
Yeah.
something, but then she doesn't pay hers at all.
Yeah, no, they're trainees or some shit. Just they're
Yeah, and I
volunteers.
was
It's
like,
like what the
they're
these people.
volunteers.
The
And
whole
you know what that tells
documentary
me
is
is that
just
she
bad.
doesn't. You know what that tells me though is she has like zero experts actually like helping and working at her part.
Oh yeah.
She just has like a bunch of volunteers, and I was like, volunteers like is fine, but you have to have some people, a few people with expertise there that train the
Aye.
volunteers properly, and she doesn't seem to have any of that.
Mm,
And then the incentive for them to keep volunteering is they get different colored shirts, and I was like,
but
man,
it's
she's scamming these people.
yeah. It's America though. It's America's so fucking weird. Like
It's like, well, it's like
there's so many.
when I worked at a retirement home, okay? We had volunteers, right?
Yeah.
For a couple of things. So, that makes sense. But
No,
then
right.
like we had paid employees as well
I
that
I
worked
get
with the
that.
volunteers.
I get that, but like I'm pretty sure like if you're wanting to do have a zoo here, right?
Mhm.
It's all like monitored and shit. Like the how well
Yeah.
the
Oh, and
animals are
then
looked after, all that shit. And if anything fucks up, like instantly you're fucked. Like instantly. Like them. So when the Joe guy um had that woman or whoever
yeah,
it
he
was,
got really
the
lucky.
hand, they got the hand chopped off
Yeah,
or
he
bitten.
got really lucky
Like
with
that's
her that she
that zoo
go
would be
after.
closed immediately here. Like it wouldn't even matter if she wanted it still open or not. It's immediately just fucking closed because that just wouldn't happen. Just you wouldn't
And
be allowed.
then
That whole fucking place would have been shut down. And even if they didn't press charges against the zoo, the government would. They just would fucking shut the whole fucker down. That'd be it. Done. It's your laws are so weird to me about that shit. Because I was like, holy shit.
I think it's weird to shut everything like the government. That seems like the government has too much power there.
Well,
Because
yeah, they
accidents
do.
will happen even at the most real regulated zoo. You still will get an accident here or there.
Yeah. Well,
But
that's true, but
But
it didn't look like
he
a
didn't
proper
seem
zoo.
to have like proper safety measures.
Yeah, it didn't look
Even.
like he did though.
So
Which is
he wasn't paying people, all the people that he hired. He was paying them a
Mhm.
little bit, but they again were not anybody with any expertise.
Exactly.
And so that's the same problem Carol has, except for
Yeah.
hers aren't paid at all. They're
Yeah.
all volunteers, and there's nobody there with expertise.
Yeah, but that's
And
that's what I'm
that is
saying.
blowing my mind because I've never even heard of just not having anybody there, especially when things where you need expertise and stuff.
No, but that's what I mean. Like,
And then she it also friggin' it did not slide by me at all when I noticed she said that she doesn't even know who's working for her
yeah,
and will only recognize them after like 5 years.
yeah, it's
And I
so
was like,
fucking
well, you're
weird.
really involved, aren't you?
Yeah. And the other thing the other thing that she was saying that they do is they have like petting the tigers and stuff. I think their argument is true. I think that is a good idea to get people more involved in to preserve the tigers and shit. Because if you can go up and pet one, it's more interactive, and
yeah. Well,
I think that's fine. And her argument was no, that's abuse, because they keep breeding them. Now that's what I don't like about it. That's one point.
It's got a downside. And the reason the problem is that they are profiting a lot off of the petting.
Yeah.
And but I like the interactive thing, but I feel like it should be for free for schools and stuff.
Aye, maybe.
Because if you think about it, when I was in school and stuff, and this was not abuse, and it was learning, it was interactive. Is they brought in like animals, like different snakes, and bugs and things.
Well, they do that in the zoo as well. They do that here in the zoos. Like if it's a snake,
you gotta touch the hissing cockroaches. You gotta touch the snakes. That's not abuse. So her argument made no sense to me.
Yep.
And the only thing that we would have to prevent, because I just don't see a problem. Yeah, is them breeding and then getting rid of them and killing them when they're not profitable anymore. Like that's wrong. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But you can't, and I understand that you can't let people pet a big tiger, right? Well, because that's just very dangerous.
It's dangerous.
So that's why I'm like, I think for schools,
I don't know.
People should do it, and it should be like free educational thing.
Could you not like muzzle the tiger so it can't bite, and then you could get if it gets used to getting petted and like let about?
No, I think because they have very powerful muscles and claws.
Oh yeah, no shit.
And everything. So I just think that that's probably like a really unsafe, like bad idea there.
It could be, but if it's used to people from a kitten,
it's still like the big cats and stuff, like wild animals like that. Like
yeah, but if it's
big cats are just very unpredictable as adults.
Yeah, but if it's well fed and it's really used to people,
it could still happen. Tiger attacks still happen.
Oh no,
from tigers that are super. Well, that's like nobody wants to risk it because it could happen. It could just happen like one time or something.
Right, and then America would just sue the shit out of you.
Yeah, that is what would happen. So like, I just don't see a problem with.
But there's footage of this guy. Okay, he had a tiger, and it was in the 70s or something. He had it from when it was tiny, and eventually it got a bit big and a bit too expensive to keep feeding it, so he released it out into where it should be, right? Took it and let it go, and he come back a year later.
I think that was a lion, not a tiger. That was a lion.
Well, it's similar beasts, and he whistled on it and it just ran to him. He called its name. A year later, it turned up where he let it go, and it turned up, and it just gave him a big hug.
Yeah, that could happen, but then
So
it could also have mauled him to death.
it it could have, but again, if you have like precautions and stuff, um, it depends on the. Of course, it still depends on the animal as well, because not all tigers or cats. Well, no cat or dog is the same, right? Like everybody that's owned animals know that every animal's different. Like even in the same, even if it's a cat, it's a different cat to the other one. Some cats just attack you for no reason. Some cats just like getting petted. Some cats like getting hugs and petted and picked up, and other ones don't. And they could just like go meh and maul you for no reason. It's like, what are you doing? Why, cat? Why do this? I was just wanting to get hugs. It's like, no, fuck you. I've got claws, you little shit. and other cats are just fine with everything. You can do anything to them. So I guess there's that as well. But I think what if it's brought up with people, it should be used to them. It shouldn't really attack them.
It could still it happens even with
I
ones
know.
that have been brought up and are well fed and taken care of. It still happens.
But I
That's
don't
that's like the problem.
I don't think they were real zoos though. Like looking at it, none of them are real zoos.
No, it's just like
Any of
it's
them.
just like with people. It's just like with people maybe raising them themselves. Some zoos, some it happens sometimes. Like there's been other wild animal attacks where they brought up the animals were taken and it just like attacked or whatever one day.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. But these guys are just guys that just bought a little kitten, tiger kitten or lion kitten, and they just caged them up and kept it as a pet, and then started getting more and more. Like they've no experience at all with running anything. They just thought, oh, I can make money from this. I'll make it a zoo. It's like
I'm actually this is something I disagree with Carol on that they're trying to do. I don't see a problem with people owning their own zoo as long as they're as long as they have regulations. Obviously.
Yeah, but that's what shocked me. There doesn't seem to be any.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as well regulated as, and I'm not sure if that's just the show and just I'm not sure what the regulations are, but I feel like at least for the show it didn't seem like there was very good regulations around it.
Nope.
Because I just don't have a problem with somebody owning a zoo and opening a zoo themselves and making a profit off their zoo.
Yeah, as long as they get the proper like vets and the people that have like studied the animals and stuff like that. Like that's fine.
Yeah, proper vets, proper enclosures, proper people handling the animals.
Yeah, but this all look like just people. Hey, they like tiger kittens, so we'll just employ them. It's like what the like how? How does that work? I don't understand.
I don't know. That didn't seem like it was regulated enough. I know that Carol wanted to never have private zoos, and I just don't agree with that because I'm like, it's a free country, and I feel like as long as the animals are well kept and well treated and have a good home, I just don't see a problem with it.
But that whole program just got nuttier and nuttier. Like all the people,
my God,
that
every
doctor
single
guy
episode was just, and like 99% of the people on there were mental. Just like, well, they were just the most horrible people. They were just all awful.
I quite liked Joel. I thought he was a funny character. Like he's
a funny character. He's a funny character, but he's a horrible person.
Yeah, a wee bit, maybe.
He's not a good person.
But I didn't like her though. She comes across as a too good a person. If do you know what I mean?
Oh,
there's something about her. She's creepy.
She is creepy.
There's
I
something
agree, she is
about her.
creepy.
There's just something about it. It's like, I don't
It's
trust
probably
you.
the something that she killed her husband.
Yeah. No, I think he's actually got a point. No, that Joe, when he was doing his shows and stuff, I was like, yeah, go for it, man. And he's animated and stuff. That's what I like about him. He that gives
Yeah.
no fucks, and he's like, you fucking come round to try and take my tigers, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Just like, yeah.
Well, I'm not
okay,
sure.
man.
I'm not sure how Florida laws work, but in some places, if you step onto somebody's
Yeah,
property and you try to steal their they can shoot you.
yeah. I
You're trying to steal
he
their
he
stuff.
wasn't in Florida. She was. He's somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I'm not sure where he
And
was.
then
I can't remember.
and then there's that weird doctor guy that calls himself like a doctor, but he's not really because he's some type
Oh
of
no,
guru or
he's
something.
got like a cult.
He was
He's got a
creepy.
zoo cult.
No, yeah, but he also got loads of hot females around him at all times.
That's his cult.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Did
I
you-
was like,
because
yeah, okay.
You got one of his females that like got away from the cult, and she's
Yeah.
talking, and it was like, bitch, you were in a cult.
Yeah, yeah.
And
he's like,
he has a cult. He's like, he
shagging
gets
them all.
young.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gets young, vulnerable virgin women.
yeah,
And then ties them to him completely, changes their names, and controls everything they do
yeah.
and what they wear.
And it's
And
okay
it's like,
because
he's got a cult.
yeah, and he's like, oh, come and live on my property. I've got big tigers and shit. Come and pet a wee kitten.
Yeah, come pet the and you go to pet a cat, and then the next thing you know, you're in a cult.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
it's exactly what happened. You're like 17. Like, oh, look at the little cute kitten. It's like, okay, I'll teach you how to. You stay here for 4 years, man. I'll teach you how to look after these little cute things. They're like, okay. 4 years later, you wake up. You've been in a cult, and you've been having sex with this old guy that thinks he's a doctor.
Yeah.
And you've
And
been feeding cats for free.
You have like implants, like breast
Yeah.
implants.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, where'd these come from?
Oh, it's so weird. That guy is the weirdest one. He
Is super
was.
weird, creepy. He's a terrible human being too. You
Mm.
just know it. He's fucking terrible.
And they keep saying, I don't want anyone to look into us. Like, and it's you just know
Yeah.
he's
Well, like
hiding
I said,
shit.
like there's only just a couple of people on there that are like good, decent people, like just a couple
Yeah.
of them, and then everybody else is like the most horrible people on the planet.
Yeah, and it's usually the ones that run the zoo.
Yeah, it's the ones that like are running the zoos
They're
for
so
sure.
fucking weird. Like Joe is really weird, but I think he's funny. That other woman, she's just, she gives me like weird women vibes, like creepy. She's just weird. Something wrong with her. And then that doctor guy, he's just running that cult. He's just a old hippie, probably gets stoned all the time, runs a cult and shags all these hot women that come in to pet his tigers. That's basically what he does.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if his zoo wasn't up to par.
Oh, none of them would
feel
be.
like-
I don't think any of them are.
I feel like his is the closest. Like it kind of looks like it would be, but I feel like
Yeah.
it's not. You know what I mean?
Oh no, behind the scenes footage would have been amazing. Like that guy that stayed with Joe, that got all the footage and it got burnt. That footage would
Yeah.
be fucking
I feel
amazing.
like he's probably a decent person. I mean, he didn't seem to have anything shady going on. He was just like,
No.
I'm just here to film
Yeah.
and document.
I wonder what he got.
And I feel bad for him that all his footage got destroyed.
Oh, that would
I
have
do, I
been
feel
brilliant.
bad.
That would have been brilliant footage because that would have showed you a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they had some. It looks like they had a wee bit or something.
Yeah.
Throughout the thing, but I don't know where they got
But
it.
there was like a lot lost that got like burned
Mm.
up, and he couldn't do it anymore. You know,
Oh,
that
that
like
would have been.
him. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, he would have made a lot of money. So would have Joe. Joe would have made a lot of money out of that as well. They would have sold it to like Netflix or something.
Yeah, Joe might have gotten arrested for whatever was in those tapes,
Yeah,
but he
well,
would have made money.
he's already arrested anyway, so what fucking
Yep,
difference
that's
does
true.
it
He's in
make?
jail now. Well, like he got that copyright thing. That was so stupid. That was so stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid. And then admitting on tech, I still don't know if he actually did get that guy to do
No,
what he says.
I feel like the other guy that now owns the zoo and the couple of people that were working for him, I feel like
Yep.
they're way more in on it. I
Yep.
feel like Joe's in on it, okay? I feel like he has some responsibility, but I feel like those three guys are way more in on it than they were like.
That guy fucking hated Joe when he first worked for him. Like he
Yeah.
hated him.
They,
Right?
They
So
all
why?
all three of the guys that they have for testifying against Joe and getting information against Joe and
Yeah.
stuff, all three of them hated his guts.
Yeah, and it's like,
right?
Wait, what? Hang on. So that your position is these guys said the guy that hated him and hated working there took the job from Joe to go down to that place and kill that woman. It doesn't sound believable to me. It sounds like a setup. It's weird. Something's not right.
I feel like Joe was a little bit involved though. Like it was something that he wanted to happen.
Oh
and
yeah.
He was a little bit involved because he did give money or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like he is a little bit involved, but I feel like those three guys were way more involved, and I feel like they're getting off with it, with their
because
involvement.
They wanted Joe
I feel
for
like
some
they can.
reason.
Yeah.
The police or the FBI
conspired.
wanted Joe, and they made it fit so that they could get up. It's
yeah. Well, they wanted Joe, and well, it's not that I don't think that I don't think the FBI made it fit. I feel like those three guys conspired against Joe as well.
Yeah, but the FBI must fucking know. I mean, that's their job, is to fucking know and investigate these things. Well, they must have known the guys hated Joe.
Depends,
that's why they brought him on.
Yeah, well, they had stuff on those guys, okay? But they probably didn't have as much to bring them in or anything. And you know what I mean? But they probably had a lot more on Joe. They just needed a nail. It seemed like they had quite a bit on Joe, okay, especially with the animals. And they just needed a nail in the coffin. And then that's when police officers will bring in other people for informants or whatever.
About the animal thing. Like, it didn't go into much detail about that. Now, if the animals were...
Well, there was abuse.
Okay,
and the reason... the reason that the animals were the reason that the FBI were looking at him for the animals is because he was for sure selling cubs and stuff, and that was illegal, and you can't be doing that.
No, I get
that. That's probably why they were investigating him first.
But
okay?
It's also the shooting of the animals. Now,
the shooting of the animals came after, so they had heard probably allegations of abuse. Okay. And then they knew he was selling tigers, okay? So they start investigating him. Now, the other three guys, they're not involved in that at all. That's definitely Joe. Joe shot those tigers. Joe's was selling the cubs, okay? So that was like 100% Joe, in which that's what they really wanted to get him on as well. And then in their investigation of Joe, and they're just compiling all this information, they're getting this... the fact that he wants her dead. So, and I really think he was involved in it. And I really think it's something that he wanted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But it's just that those other three guys, I just feel like they were more involved than what they're letting on is the only thing. I feel like all four of them should be in jail.
But the FBI should have done that, though.
Well, the other three guys got... because they needed the other guys... for
to testify,
putting Joe to testify. So they offered them deals.
Yeah.
All right. Because I don't think the FBI knew how or really knew. They didn't have any evidence for how much involvement those people were
But coming to
involved in or anything.
again, coming back to the shootings, right? If the animals were like hurt or dying of some disease or shit, right? Usually, a normal person would call in a vet to get
Yeah, you call in a vet, and then
to get put down, right? Now,
yeah.
but Joe comes across as a guy. To me, I think if that was happening, and that's why he shot them, I think that that could be what he done. He just shot him. I think he comes across as a guy that would do that.
Yeah, but
that
he also
makes
comes
sense
across.
to me.
He also comes across somebody that would shoot them even if they were not sick.
I don't think so.
No, because I think they aged. I think they aged up out of being. What happened to all those cubs? Like he doesn't have records or anything.
He sells most of them. He sells them
some
to keep.
Of the he sells
a
some of the
lot of them. No, he sells a lot. I think, honestly, I think that he sells all of them, and I think the ones that he shot were ones that were. I honestly believe that he was in it just for the tigers.
I'm pretty sure. Like if I remember right, quite a few of those tigers were actually kind of young.
I don't know.
Like what was wrong with
I don't think it went in. I don't think it went into that. But even a young tiger could have some.
That's
problems.
True, but like,
so
why didn't? But it still screams abuse not having a vet in. Because what if it was something perfectly curable? Because these people aren't. So it's not like it was so sick it was dying.
No, I understand, but Joe comes across as someone.
The vet.
To me, Joe comes across as someone who would just shoot a dog if it was fucking half dead or whatever. Like he doesn't come across as a just shooting it for the sake of it. I think.
It just seems like the one thing that Carol does correctly in her zoo is that she seems to have proper vets. And she seems to have, when they die, they're dying of like old age mostly. And she's not taking them out back and shooting them. She's just feeding them her husband's body parts.
Yeah. which is fine. That's fine. But shooting a tiger, man, can't be shooting a fucking tiger that's got cancer.
Well,
like that's over the line. But you can feed body parts to them. That's fine.
It's
so
and it's
weird.
Like they still weren't, even if he shot them because they were sick or something, he still wasn't getting them proper care from a vet.
Oh yeah, no, like yes, but he comes across as a guy that would have done that. To me, it feels like he wanted to do it himself. Does that make does that make sense?
I will give the benefit of the doubt that they may have been sick. They may have been. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying. There's not enough evidence.
They may have been.
The documentary never went into that. Like maybe the FBI and the investigation. Maybe the investigation came out saying no, they were perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with them, and we found bullet holes in their heads. There's no way to tell
when they're just bones. It would be really hard to tell.
Yeah, well, like, according to his testimony and the thing that they were all sick. They all had something wrong with them.
Yeah, that's what he said, that they were all sick. But
I believe I actually believe him.
It is still animal abuse.
No shit, but
a vet, because some of them could have very much lived just fine.
Yeah, but it comes
cured, and they weren't deathly sick.
No,
you know what I mean.
I know, and I'm not saying that he was right about doing it, but I think he was telling the truth about it. He just comes across as a guy that would do that.
He still needed to get in trouble for their deaths, though.
Yeah,
because it wasn't proper.
Yeah,
it wasn't right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like the whole case is really weird, and they're all fucking crazy.
They are.
That's all I can say about it.
That Carol person seems to be.
She's fucking.
She seems
nuts.
to be. Well, yeah, but she seems to be like on the side of PETA. They mentioned PETA a few times. They didn't get into
Yep.
it, but
Yeah.
she seems to be pro PETA, and
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody that's pro PETA.
Yeah. Because
Because they're like sitting there talking about PETA, and I'm like, PETA supports terrorism, and they kill like majority of their animals.
Okay. Fuck.
I was like,
Okay. Okay. They just support terrorism.
they do support terrorism. They
You're
support.
on YouTube, man. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, they do though. They have backed terrorist groups, and that will go and like friggin' bomb clinics and
Stop.
stuff. They do.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right.
Yeah, but it's true.
No. Just like, go away and get food.
Look it up.
Go away and get food and say bye bye to YouTube because.
Okay, bye YouTube.